Now, decades of conflict over scarce resources in the arid and semi-arid regions of Turkana, Samburu, West Pokot, and Baringo counties have left thousands of women and girls displaced, facing gender-based violence and hunger. The situation is further exacerbated by climate change, and despite numerous resolution efforts, women, the primary victims of this conflict, remain excluded from peace dialogues and the quest for justice. However, the USAID Nawiri, a program led by Mercy Corps, has launched a multi-approach to address the rising cases of malnutrition and instability in the arid Turkana and Samburu counties. USAID Nawiri convened the first Women Leaders Workshop from this particular conflict areas in Naivasha to discuss peace building and the crucial role of women in achieving sustainable peace and development while addressing conflict. Our reporter Levis Musumba covered the event where the scars of conflict were revealed in a collective effort to foster peace. Here's the story.
Rofana Raymond from Arpolo village in West Pokot County recently lost her only source of livelihood, 300 goats to raiders. Her 8 children now face a dire future.
Kila saa tunasikia maafa. Tunakaa ikifika saa 6 ndio marisasi inalia. Unaanza kustuka. Unastuka ukitarajia ni nani ndio analetwa. Pengine ni mtoto wako ama pengine ni jirani.
In the arid and semi-arid lands of northern Kenya, conflict has long disrupted the lives of local communities. Thousands have been displaced, and the ongoing strife has pushed women and children to the brink of poverty, hunger and malnutrition, with some losing their lives in the crossfire.
Mwaka jana tulipoteza watu 17 kwa kijiji ambaye inaitwa Napetom. Hawa watu walikuja marafiki zetu, majirani zetu walikuja mpaka hapo wakafahamia hiyo kijiji, wakaua watu, wakachoma manyumba ya watu pamoja na watu wakiwa ndani.
A World Bank report of 2020 titled Conflict and Violence Risk Mitigation in Kenya highlights that Turkana has seen the highest conflict-related fatalities since 1997, with 1,444 deaths. This sheds light on the struggle of women in Asal counties who are tirelessly working to protect vulnerable women and children.
I've seen them losing their husbands. I've seen them losing their children. They have lost their properties. So if you look at the kind of life they are living now, it's really a terrible kind of life.
In 2019, Mercy Corps launched the USAID Nawiri program to tackle acute malnutrition in Turkana and Samburu counties through multi-sectorial interventions.
When we started this program in 2019, the rates were extremely high. The rates were as high as 43 and even 60% in some of the villages that we worked in.
The 2022 Kenya Demographic Health Survey report reveals the severe impact of conflict, with Turkana showing a child malnutrition rate of 32%, Samburu at 30%, and West Pokot at 27%.
As a program that is working on health and nutrition, access to water, alternative livelihoods and all that, the limited access meant that we were not able to reach out to these vulnerable communities.
For women like Emily Lekarkar from conflict-prone Suguta in Samburu County, peace remains a distant dream.
When the conflict between us, our neighbors started, our neighbors from Tiati, so we ran for our lives, and like the whole of Lolmolog, Longewan, and part of Logurate, now they are living in Suguta Marmar and Laikipia.
Despite 60 years of independence, counties like Turkana, Samburu, Baringo and West Pokot continues to grapple with undevelopment, poverty, gender-based violence and food insecurity.
The search for peace and security has to be all-inclusive. And the fact that women were not involved from the onset could be even an oversight.
Aim of the NAP 1325 through the pillars is protection. That we need to protect women and girls from gender-based violence and the effects of conflicts.
In a groundbreaking initiative, the USAID Nawiri program through Mercy Corps convened the first ever women leaders workshop from conflict-prone counties of Turkana, Samburu, West Pokot and Baringo at Lake Naivasha Simba Lodge to discuss peace building and the pivotal role of women.
The people who bear the brunt, who actually are the most affected by conflict, are women. And that is why we made the decision to come up with what we call, women in leadership for sustainable development. And we believe this is going to create a platform that is going to engage women at all levels.
These discussions underscore that women are not just contributors to conflict, but also key to long-term conflict resolution and stability.
Kama wataendelea hivi, waweke sisi wamama wa Pokot, waweke sisi wamama wa Samburu, waweke Marakwet na sisi wa Turkana. Tutaweka amani.
The USAID Nawiri program aims to address the systemic drivers of malnutrition in Turkana and Samburu counties with the goal of eradicating poverty, hunger and gender inequality. Achieving sustainable development hinges on including women in peace-building efforts.
The solution is not going to be driven only by the women leaders. The boys, particularly the Morans, who are the people, the young men who carry the guns, the young men who do the raids, they have to be informed of these actions. They have to be informed of the solutions we have reached. We have to empower them. We have to give them alternative livelihoods.
These ones who will go from here, they will become the ambassadors. We will go and talk to our women. From there, we will sit down our children, the Morans, and the boys who go to attack the others. We will talk to them. We'll also engage the men, and we'll also create a forum of also engaging the men leadership that we have in our counties.
As a signatory to the National Action Plan on UN's SCR 1325, Kenya is mandated to implement the Women, Peace and Security Agenda, recognizing women's role as peace builders and change agents. The recent workshop provides women from the affected counties a platform to explore their crucial role in peace building. For KTN News, I'm Levis Musumba.
Well, that informative story by Levis Musumba brings us to the end of tonight's edition of Checkpoint. I hope you're adequately